Hey everyone, Chef Kendra here, and today I'm doing a very special recipe because with all of the things happening in Australia right now and all the terrible fires displacing animals, displacing humans, and just the destruction, the way that I always show the world that I love it is by cooking. So I thought that I would do an Australian pavlova to show you a really fun recipe. It's also light for the new year. It's totally allergy adaptable and also will maybe inspire you to help the people who need it most in Australia right now. So let's get to it. Okay, so there are really only 3 steps to this recipe that are pretty easy. Within each step, there obviously are more steps there. But the first thing we're gonna do is make the actual base itself, which is really just a meringue, typically made with egg whites, which obviously is one of the top 8. So instead, we are using something called aquafaba, which is the liquid from the can of chickpeas. It seems crazy. It's one of my most favorite food science things ever. So I am gonna make hummus later because I have some chickpeas that I drained, but I saved the water from the can. And it's about half a cup per can. So I'm just gonna pour that in. Works really, really well in a stand mixer because you need to be whipping it kind of for a while. So we have that. And then you're gonna add some sugar. It's about 2/3 cup of sugar. I'm gonna add half of that just to get started. You're gonna turn your mixer on and you're gonna let that sucker whip. And it's gonna look like this weird, yellowy, kind of crazy liquid and sugar mixed in there. And then all of a sudden it's gonna look just like whipped egg whites. It's amazing. That's gonna be the base. Then on top of that, we're going to put a really delicious vanilla pudding that's thickened with a secret ingredient. Then on top of that, we're gonna just arrange some really beautiful fruit. And that is your dessert, that is your recipe. So I'm gonna whip this and then show you how to make those individual adorable pavlovas. Okay, this is all whipped. Truly can't even believe it always works like this. It looks just like an egg white meringue, and it always amazes me when I make these for whatever reason. It's magic. So we are gonna take a little spoon and scoop this out and then just make a little well in the middle because that's where the pudding is gonna go once these are baked and cooled and ready to be filled. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. You just wanna grab a sheet tray and put your trusty parchment on there. As always, you know I love parchment paper. It will save your life and it will save your pans. This is actually a really fun thing to do with kids too because you can't mess it up. The only thing that you really want to make sure that you're doing is creating kind of like a little well in the middle so you have that space, like I said, to put your pudding when it's all done. Just form it into a little circle. It does not need to be perfect. It's not supposed to look perfect. And then you can take the center of your spoon to make that well. You just kind of press it all out. There we go. This cute little pavlova base. It's all ready to get baked. I'm gonna make a few of these. These are also really nice if you are doing a dinner party or if you're having friends over. A little tea would be really cute with this because you have to make them ahead of time and then it's done. We also, if you want to get more in depth, if you think this is just as cool as I do, or you want another recipe with things that you can do with the bean water, we made some raspberry meringues last year, and that is a video that's also on YouTube. It's also on my blog, drizzlekitchen.com, and that will just give you some more detail and show you a little bit more in depth about this, and then just give you another recipe that you can use too, which we also did for the holiday season. We made those little tiny raspberry meringues, and then we dipped the bottom in chocolate, which was super good. And then depending on your oven, these are gonna bake anywhere from like 40 to 50 minutes maybe. I am gonna bake these at 325 because my oven bakes, I think, kind of low. 300 would be another good one. It might take a little bit longer, but we are all set with these babies. And this would probably make maybe 12. I mean, I still have a lot of mixture in there. I have these 4 beautiful meringues. The other thing you can do too is make one really big one, which is a beautiful presentation. But for some reason, I'm feeling the little minis today. So I'm gonna put these in the oven, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how to make the allergy adaptable vanilla pudding that we are gonna stick inside this when it's done. Okay, so here I have 2 cups of dairy-free milk. You can of course always use whatever milk you'd like, and a 1/4 cup of sugar. I am going to warm that on the stove just until it gets warm and the sugar is melted. In the meantime, I am gonna mix together our secret ingredient that I told you about to help thicken this, chickpea flour. This is clearly a very chickpea-based recipe, but chickpea flour is great because it really absorbs a lot of liquid and it helps it get thick without having to use eggs, because we want this to be free from the top 8. So we've got chickpea flour. I'm gonna put that in a bowl. We have tapioca starch. I'm gonna add that also into it. And then we are going to add an additional 1/2 cup of your dairy-free milk. So this it's like a little slurry. It's a little thickening paste, if you will, that we are going to drizzle into the warm milk sugar mixture. And then you're gonna see it thicken. The thing about this also is that it will continue thickening as it sets. So if it doesn't seem as thick as you think it should be, don't worry. It will get nice and thick as it sets. Just make sure that you whisk this until you don't really see any grains left. In a nice big bowl. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna check on that milk and sugar. It shouldn't really take that long for this to warm up. You just want to see some steam coming off the top of it. And I have mine on like a medium-high heat. Once I see the steam coming up, I'm going to turn it down to a low heat, and then I'm going to drizzle this in because you don't want that to scorch when you mix it in. And it should take just a few more minutes after that to get nice and thick. All right, so the milk is coming to a real light simmer. I'm going to turn the heat down. I am going to drizzle this in. Drizzle. All right. I am going to stir this until it is thickened. Oh, I feel it right away. I feel it already. Perfect. And as soon as that is thickened, you're going to wait about 15 seconds. You want to cook out that starchy taste. But you don't want it to cook too long because then tapioca starch actually reverses and it eliminates its thickening powers. All right, this seems great. I'm gonna put it back in this bowl. Look at that. Now to make it vanilla pudding, we need to add vanilla extract. So I have some pure vanilla extract. We're gonna mix that in. And then we're gonna let this cool off while we are waiting for our pavlova bases to bake. In order to prevent a skin from being on the top of this while it cools, you need to put something on there. So plastic wrap, except I don't love to put plastic on hot things, so I usually use parchment paper. You will lose a little bit of your pudding because it'll stick to that parchment as opposed to the plastic where it just comes right off, but you know what? Gotta make your sacrifices somewhere. So I'm gonna put a little parchment on here, put it in the fridge to let it cool, and then when you guys come back, I'm gonna show you how to assemble these beautiful, beautiful desserts. Okay, so my oven baked our pavlova bases a little bit hotter because it's an annoying oven. So this is always why recipes, you should make sure that you can make it your own. So this is a little bit darker than you want, but they're still gonna be super delicious. And they're so cute. So I like to put it on a little plate inside, sort of like a soup bowl. It's a really nice presentation. Nutmeg really wants to eat some of this, if you can hear him whining in the background. So we have our pudding that is chilled. I am gonna spoon some of that right on top. Perfect. And then we're just gonna arrange some fruit right on top. I have blackberries, blueberries, some strawberries, and then I segmented some blood oranges because they're just beautiful in winter, and it is currently winter. So I'm just gonna arrange And this will help spread out the pudding as you're putting the fruit on it. He's very excited about this. Okay. Let's put a little blueberry there. And this is also something that's actually really fun for your kids to do too. It's like arts and crafts. Right, a few little blood oranges. All right, and I know that it's kind of hard to see at this angle, but we have this really beautiful dessert that is fresh and light and will hopefully help inspire you to really dig deeper about Australia and find some organizations that are passionate for you, that you can help donate, raise awareness, and help the animals and the people get to safety and help us heal our earth. So, for more recipes like these that are allergy adaptable and super delicious and that apparently your dog also wants, make sure that you stay tuned to this channel. Also head to my Instagram channel, which is just Drizzle Kitchen. You can see what I'm making for my clients every day and also what I'm making for myself every day to inspire you to get back in the kitchen and make your loved ones some delicious meals.